Hello guys, here is Level Up session 25 with our special guest, Ioan Dumitrescu. Hello man.
Hello.
We are here with Wojtek and me, Darek Zabrocki. Jonas is on the way, so he probably will join us very soon. And I would like to introduce in a few words Ioan and his beautiful works.
Thank you.
Let me share my screen and show you his works. If you want to follow him, just do it. Follow him on johndumitrescu.com or his Facebook. But on johndumitrescu.com you will find all the beautiful stuff that he made for projects like Gears of Wars, all the environmental stuff, Applibot cards, and he's very, you probably know his work because he's very popular and he's awesome environments all around, and creating the shapes and creating the designing is very unique. So definitely follow this guy. And yeah, I think that Ioan, you can tell us a bit about yourself.
Well,
I will show the people to your work. So.
Thank you for having me, first of all. I think what you guys are doing here is cool, building up the community. Well, I'm a freelance concept artist, concept designer since like 5-6 years. I've been doing this. I kind of started. It's a funny thing. I was supposed to go to economics university, and I decided at the last second I should go to architecture. I was a big kind of gamer back then. I was playing a lot of World of Warcraft, and that kind of pushed me in a direction where I thought storytelling and story making is such a cool thing, and what could I do to get in that world, of games. I wasn't sure about movies back then, but it was kind of my end goal. I said, okay, start somehow with doing games and the storytelling that goes into games. So I started 3D. It was, I think, 2007, right? Yeah, 7 years ago. I started 3D. I was finishing high school. I wanted to do a little side-off project. I was just checking 3D Total. That was like the first site with CG Society, which I knew of. Then came more, So I started 3D. It took so long. I was so frustrated. Everything took ages, and everything was gray. And I was kind of pissed at that. I used to admire those Blizzard cinematics from.
Those cinematics.
Yeah, Warcraft 3, Frozen Throne, all that. And I was like, how the fuck are these guys doing it?
Exactly.
And then I kind of started, doing the whole referencing, finding out they use render farms, huge teams, and all that. Dozens of years of experience combined. And I started doing my own kind of concepts for the 3Ds I was modeling. And I had no idea people were doing that. So I was kind of inventing the wheel that already existed. I was making a square wheel, instead of a round one. And then I found out, hey, people are doing it in 2D, and it kind of looked, better, quicker.
Better than the 3D, right? Yeah.
And it attracted me instantly, and kind of switched to Photoshop. But it's kind of a funny story, which I wanted to mention for a lot of people that are probably out there and switching careers midway. So I was in university, in economics university, and there was a course at 8:30 in the morning. It was accounting, and that guy was talking about sausage factories.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I was drawing a little scarab from World of Warcraft. I was like, God, this guy is boring. He was like, the dead tone.
Yeah.
Yeah, no intonation, no nothing. And he was talking about his sausages, and without me knowing, I kind of drifted away and slept throughout the course. And someone at some point woke me up. Hey, you're snoring. Okay. And I was like, woke up like from a hangover. I was like, what the fuck? what am I doing here? This guy is still talking about sausages and how to, keep manage of sausages. Which, okay, you need to, I guess, at some point in your life.
Yeah, manage a
And
sausage.
in that exact moment, I looked down at the table, and I saw that drawing, a pencil drawing, a shitty drawing, whatever. But I took the decision, hey, this is kind of what I'm doing, this is what I'm thinking all the time. Why am I here and trying to learn economics, which I kind of love, but it was something, another hobby of mine.
So inspirational.
But I felt, hey, why am I here if my heart is somewhere else? I should just leave out, quit, and start drawing. I mean, if this is what I want to do, I need to commit 100%. So I kind of took all my shit from the table, left out. The teacher was talking about sausages. He wasn't stopping. I went down in the lobby of the university. I met a friend, and he was like, hey, what's up? What you doing? Well, I'm quitting the university. He was like, okay, what the fuck? What you gonna do? I'm gonna start drawing. And yeah. And that exact moment, he said the following thing. Oh, yeah? And do you use Photoshop? I was like, what? Who? Photoshop? I had no idea about Photoshop at that time. I mean, I barely found out about 3ds Max. That was the only thing I knew. And V-Ray, maybe. Yeah. And,
which year was it? Which year exactly was it when you quit?
2007.
2007, okay.
Yeah, it's charming.
Maybe
Man.
2006 and...
Okay.
Wait, 2006. It was like right out of high school, And he said, well, you're going to need a Wacom. And I was like, a what? A graphic tablet. And, okay, take me home and give me that Wacom tablet. And he was like, yeah, let's go. And
it's like you are on the first level in like RPG game, like meeting NPC, and he's giving you like basic equipment to fight with.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was something so liberating doing that. And we went instantly to that guy's house. He looked through all his shit. There was such a chaos in the attic or somewhere. And he found out this yellow graphic tablet, ancient. It was like the 10 command tablets from Moses. Here it is. And I was like, oh, I'm going to follow this.
For the rest of my life.
Exactly, for living my life.
That's how it started.
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of funny because, well, I didn't quite quit like a total idiot without thinking ahead. The exam for the economics university was like in July, August, and in September there was an architecture exam for the architecture university. And I was thinking, hey, my parents and everybody's okay with going me to the economics university, but how about I do this in parallel and just go, take the exam, see what happens, for myself. And everybody was cool. Okay, as long as you go to economics school, it's all, all right.
Yeah.
Which I prepared, for all high school and stuff. Yeah. Architecture was out of nowhere. And I went. I failed the exam, obviously, in September. Yeah. But there was another section to it, which was more computerized, so it seemed. And I went there. It was like a month later, almost 30 days. I started drawing intensively every day because I was a slacker till then, and I thought, hey, I need to get in to have a second opportunity there for myself. And I got prepared. I got the exam. I got into university. Was going to both, and along like 3 months into the educational year, I left economics.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, it sounds very inspirational for all of us, I guess.
That's a crazy story, really. Yeah. Straight from a movie, and now you're a successful artist, and I mean that's crazy.
That's the hero spirit, I guess. That's the hero spirit.
Well, it was crazy because I had so much enthusiasm. I took just pages of white A4 Xerox paper and started drawing everything I had around me, chairs, watches, whatever, and then doing spaceships because, hey, I used to watch as a kid Star Wars, all the games I played, from Half-Life to, I don't know, whatever, Counter-Strike, whatnot. It had boiled up in my brain, and now it was the time to get it all out. and it was really rushing out, you know.
Awesome.
And
So
Gnomon was a big source. You know, we used to have torrents. Back then,
excuse me. Yeah.
I remember watching a lot of Feng Tzu tutorials, you know, the old Feng Tzu.
Yeah, with the cup, right?
Yeah, the old Feng Tzu, which, you know, he was in love with his work and just that, in design. And it was great. I learned a lot from that. And we used to replicate the style, you know, having all the lines going to the same point. First the point, another point, then connect them with the line, and so on. And once I had Photoshop, I said, okay, I'm going to scan these in, like Feng Tzu, scan these drawings, line drawings from real life, put them in Photoshop, get them in, and start painting over, you know, just like he kind of did. Just that I put them on multiply, the line drawing. Under it, I used to put in colors and so on.
Yeah.
If you want, I could find some old drawings.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, man, awesome.
The screen is on yours right now, so you can share it.
Okay, give me a sec.
Everything you want.
That's the like old school concept art approach, right? When they
yeah. I mean, it was so exhilarating. There was no information available. You know, you just knew about Feng Tzu, Ryan Church, you know.
Yeah, everything wasn't that common.
James Klein, people like that. You didn't have anything else. I mean, there weren't forums. They were just starting out. There were some people who had the software, and they had the big leap of knowing a little bit of that software. Yeah. I mean, it was a crazy start to what is now concept art and the 3D industry.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people that would get like $1,000 for modeling a table back then. You know, a simple table with nothing else.
Yeah.
And that's how things started. Let me show you the first digital drawing, if it's of interest to anyone.
Yeah, go ahead.
Of course.
Yeah, this is it.
This is the first digital?
Yeah, 2007, we have the date.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I can feel the Feng Tzu through that, right? It's still,
yeah, it's definitely Feng Tzu, you know.
Yeah, it already was very clean and.
Yeah, perspective works. Awesome, man.
I still remember the order. I mean, this was number 2.
Awesome. I remember that tutorial though. I remember the tutorial. He also did that greenish kind of pipey environment, right?
The pipey things, which kind of right now, you know, once you've done these things and redid them and copied your things from other people, now you're trying to apply them to your work. You know, you're applying it unconsciously because it became a habit by repeating it over and over. And having all these line drawings to start from kind of made it easier later on to have big paint shapes, you know, nothing line work. Trying to define your shapes through just paint and tones. And easily I was trying to make that change from line drawing to paint, actual paint. And for me, I think the biggest next inspiration was sort of Seed Mead, because he had in his illustrations everything that could describe a scene, you know, an action, design in the background, VFX. It had everything. I mean, it had such a big story. And you can see the kind of a progress. Putting dates was good just to keep track of how you work and how much work you can pull out.
Yeah, there's not more form to the picture, and you're like getting awareness of the forms you can build up in your painting, right? You're operating more with paint than line drawing.
And the whole thing, doing things analog, and using your line, your ruler, your pencil, and then, you know, inking it and whatnot, it gave a lot of precision and learning about perspective, how it works, how it feels right, and so on.
Yeah. So everybody who is watching us right now, you can see how much time does it take to set up a proper fundamentals before you actually move on to the fun part, like.
Yeah, and it's a great example too. how it was built from the beginning with the right things. But
So this drawing you are showing us right now, you also have started it from like
Yeah,
pencil or pen drawing, right?
it was in line drawing. Then I scanned it in, put it on a multiply layer, had all the colors and light established behind all these lines. And then at one point, I would create a new layer above everything and start kind of painting in. Everything is very timid, as you can see. And the shapes are super basic. But in the end, everything we do right now, or in a more advanced way, is compound out of basic shapes, rectangles, spheres in 3D, cylinders, cones, whatnot. I mean, that was in
how much time that
June,
how much time that
and this was in
sorry.
January, leaving out all the line work, having fun of things, creating your own little stories.
Dark, I can barely hear you, so if you can...
Can you hear me better right now?
Yeah, it works fine.
So I was asking John, how much time have you spent on that one, picture at the beginnings, like you
I could spend like a week, a couple of days just doing the drawing, the line drawing. I mean, I remember being so, as you are, as a beginner, when you start off, you're kind of scared to commit, and every shape doesn't feel right. And that's how the pencil, kind of helped out. I was making a lot of light moves on the paper.
Yeah, before the exact decision was made.
Yeah, and used the eraser a lot. And in some exercises, I used to just cancel out the eraser. I used to tell myself I'm not going to use the eraser just to commit to things.
But it immediately shows that you had the feeling in it, and you made the right decision before you start coloring and all that stuff.
I think this was the first or second image I used to use photos. For the sky, I remember using a photo as a start-off, even though I painted it over. But it's definitely a photo in plate, which, the next step was to take it further. And it was a lot of diverse work. That's the funniest thing. I mean, a lot of diverse work. Just having fun with a lot of subjects. And the perspective and everything, the depth, it's crap if you look at it, but it's great exercise for me at that time to explore, and exploring also the, how's it called, the styles which I saw at other artists. Because hey, I was getting bombarded by a lot of concept designers I was finding out about, and movies I was starting to see more towards that. Older masters, which I used to remember from as a kid, that's back then I used to love drawing. I used to draw everything, master copies from Rembrandt. Well, they were shit copies from
So
master.
that's the way that you learned the colors at the beginning, like studying masters and...
You see there's a limited palette to everything here. I mean, these are more trying to get in color without any photos, without any color picking from other things, just by selecting your own colors from the color wheel. But everything started pretty monochromatic, if you can see, I mean, this is monochromatic.
I can feel Mobius.
Yeah, Mobius, to be honest, and to my shame, I found out much later.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So it's opposite to myself, that when I started with colors, it was like getting everything very contrasty and oversaturated. And one day I've read some comments by Sławomir Maniak, Polish artist, and he was telling that he starts with very limited palette and he expands the colors while progressing the piece, and it was very cool to start with just a limited palette, and as you said, you already started it, and it just gets you very quick with
yeah, it's a
knowing
limited
the colors.
It's a limited palette because you have no idea what you're doing. And you're trying to find out what works for you. And here is what comes in from your experience and what the things you saw mostly, and the things that you were part of, even, you know, like building your own shed or you know, a sandcastle, whatnot. All these things, the museums you saw, you know, the lights you used to see on the street, everything, I believe, influences us, and it's obvious. And I can definitely say it influenced me and how I started doing things. This is another experiment, just using you know, more opposite colors, complementary stuff.
So, is that work that you did while acquiring a professional work, or just it was just for yourself, just hobby?
No.
Okay.
That was just for me. I mean, that was me trying to learn as much as possible. I wasn't even thinking about work.
Okay.
Because, hey, I didn't know anything
Yeah.
for that.
Learn.
You know, you gotta learn first. This was from 2009.
Oh, nice.
You know, I mean, you can obviously. I felt good seeing how things progress, but I definitely wasn't thinking about jobs because I wasn't ready, and I was also doing, you know, university architecture school, which unfortunately in, you know, in Romania isn't quite what you'd expect from something like this.
Yeah, it's very familiar story.
That's common.
Yeah.
That's common.
That's what you know, I kind of want to focus for people listening out there, that even if you're on a road, either selected by you or, you know, influenced by someone else, you just have to, you know, at some point decide, think really good. Hey, what's good for me, first of all? Because, hey, this is my life, I'm going to live it. Nobody's going to be maybe around. I need to do something that I enjoy. Maybe it's not art. I mean, maybe it's engineering. Maybe it's whatever. Whatever makes you happy. For me, telling stories in a 2D way, and hopefully getting them transported into a 3D medium, either film or games, you know, satisfies me and gives me a lot of joy and energy.
Yeah, man. Your work is so powerful at that. I mean, when I look at your work personally, I just feel like I'm a part of a scene, which is, I mean, quite a huge accomplishment for an artist to actually grab an attention of the viewer so much that I'm actually in there. I'm not looking at a picture. Like, I'm talking about the cover you did for Digital Art Masters.
Right. Thank you.
It was just captivating. I mean, all the blues and like the silhouette of a character was just awesome.
Yeah, you can even immerse in that world that you create, and it's great that you created that kind of feeling even when you were, you know, just beginning on your beginner, you know, path. It's amazing. So.
Right. Thank you. Well, I guess I just like to be immersed when I draw these things. I like to get immersed in the world and think of everything that's around there. And I like to do it by gut. At first, you need to think a lot of these things. I mean, you definitely need to ask the right questions to yourself in order to get to a point in an image. But I try to let feelings guide a lot of the work. I mean, in this image, I think this is from 2010. By 2009, I was already starting to get work. So it was, you know, a big push for me, knowing that a client wants me to do something, you know, and that kind of pushed me towards other subject matters, you know, and other styles, approaches.
So you never applied to them, and just show your work on the
No, actually, the first jobs I got from, you know, directly from clients. Another funny story, if you know, it's okay to say it. I think in 2008. Sorry, I'm zipping some water. In 2008, I got a job at Ubisoft, a call from Ubisoft. A friend of mine saw they were looking for a concept artist, concept designer, and he applied for me. You know, my former, you know, bench colleague from high school, and you know, he kind of follows my work, and he's the guy that helped me make my website. So Alex, thank you. And he was really, you know, in one message he gave me, hey man, you know about Ubisoft, they're looking for a concept designer. And I was like, okay, thanks. But I didn't apply. And he applied for me, and they gave me a call one day, and they said, hey, we had 150 applications, and guess what? We thought about you and given an interview. And I was like, okay, Ubisoft Romania. So we're correct here. Sorry, I didn't mention it. We have a studio here in Romania. And it was a big deal. I mean, it was right a year after I started. You know, it was the beginning of 2008. And I went there, and it was like an internship. But I said, hey, why am I not paid? Because I felt, you know, I'm doing some work which some clients will use for their projects. I'm giving my best, but at least pay me, you know. I'm cool with learning, but I can learn at home at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I just didn't feel right for the Ubisoft part. That's why I asked for money, you know. In other cases, if it's Microsoft, you're going to say, hey, okay, take me away, you know, fly me out of here. But with them, I kind of pushed my luck, and I said, hey, I think I deserve this. It was like a small wage or whatever. But it's good to feel that you're getting paid for your work.
Of course.
You shouldn't let people just take you for granted. So.
Yeah.
And I stayed, you know, I started working there. They were working on Silent Hunter. And I started doing concepts, and they were like, hey, do this. And I was doing it in a much more expensive way. They wanted a submarine base. Well, I made it, you know, in kind of ex-Soviet base in the Arctics, somewhere through a tunnel you would go for different tunnels and reach it. And it was everything like a James Bond movie, you know. And the guys, the art director there was like, hey, this is like James Bond. We can't do this. Too hard to make it. And I was like, but what you gonna do then? I mean,
your concepts were too awesome, right?
I felt kind of disappointed that nobody was giving an interest to make it. I mean, hey, it's hard, but let's do it. I mean, if it's cool, why not? We can tone it down, but we can still make some cool stuff out of it. That was the first experience where the actual corporate world of gaming, I was introduced to it, you know, because this is what you fight on a daily basis with clients. I mean, they need to respect an IP, maybe, you know, technical stuff, whatever. You need to kind of mold around it. But they had no worries and actually no need for concept art, which I found out like a week later, and they just let me do whatever I wanted. It was kind of a fun and liberating period. And somehow after a month, I felt I wasn't in the right place for me, you know. I wasn't being pushed, you know. Nobody was demanding some stuff from me. Everything I did was perfect. And I was like, but it's not. It's, you know, I was telling myself it's just not. And working in a place where people didn't demand more from me, and it was just me demanding more, just made me think, hey, I just can work freelance, switch to freelance, get my own clients, and start on this road. You know, instead
and you still are on this road, right?
Yeah, since 2008.
Yeah.
At that point. And I left, you know, I told them, hey, I don't want to continue. After 2 months. I can't. It's just not the right place for me. I don't feel, you know, good. And the art director said, hey, very well. You're doing the right thing. And that's how I started, you know, doing freelance and trying to motivate myself, because this is the big part of freelancers. Motivating yourself to get kind of better. This was, if you want me, I can jump. This was from 2009, I think, 2010. The same approach, just that you can see there's more courage in it. I mean, it's still crappy, but it's a better courage. Trying to put in photos, you know, trying different shapes, different lights.
So if you already started experimenting with photo textures and photo brushing.
Yeah, for me it always kind of felt right, using photos. It just, it's not only just because it gave me a lot of detail fast, because if you can see there's a lot of painting over things. I didn't leave them like that. It just gave me ideas, which might have been totally different and opposite from the actual photos I was importing. That was the cool stuff for me. I mean, it was this combinatoric play which these photos would introduce me. You know, it was like a different world every time. I could put in, you know, I don't know, a tablet and get out of it a car, you know, that kind of stuff. Put in, I think this was, let me remember, this gate, I think was from some sort of a container which was abandoned, and I like the the pattern and the idea behind it, that it kind of looked like a structure. And I thought, hey, this is an entrance to an apocalyptic town, post-apocalyptic town, where dependent on staying somewhat relatively safe. So the gate point, the control point, they needed something massive and strong to help them keep safe. Even though, you know, this is like getting back to contrast. This is strong, massive. Then you see flimsy stuff with all kinds of holes. This fence wouldn't hold a cow, and so on. I mean, stuff that would kind of contradict itself and create interest, because in real world nothing's perfect. Like nothing's quite straight. Everything has a little edge. It's the same thing taken from this micro level to a macro level. You know, exploring the depths of an idea, basically. Yeah, and things. The first serious and bigger job, I participated in a contest on CG Society.
Turn off that music, man.
Well, it's the 90s.
Oh shit.
Coming back.
Like, oh,
with vengeance.
Okay, go on. Sorry. I mean.
No worries. No worries.
Sorry for Jonas.
Well, hello to him. The first real job was derived from this contest on CG Society, and there was this editing company that approached me and wanted to buy the image. So that was the first serious work, you know, via payment and the importance of work and so on, which later translated to doing 3 more covers for them, for you know, a blockbuster writer from the US. So that was like the breaking end point for me. Putting your foot kind of in the door, and then as the door weighs 2 tons, you gotta hold it open, and you gotta shove work through that door as you hold it, so people kind of get to notice you around.
Yeah.
Because it's very hard, even you know, in this internet time where it's so easy to get it out there, but it's hard to get it in front of the right people. But once you do that, it's obviously easier.
You have to force through some stages. Like you have to just keep. You have to be brave enough. I mean, brave. That's not the word to use, but you have to be courageous enough to just get your work and believe that, like, I have a certain level and I can provide, and you have to be aware of your skills, because nobody else will basically give you work if you are not aware of your skills and you are not aware of your.
Yeah, you have to be, I think, somewhat very patient about it. I know it's hard sometimes to be patient when you like have no money to get out of the house.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the risk you have to take. I mean, look at Van Gogh. He died poor, and his, you know, paintings sell for over 150 million. Even though, you know, that's a different thing, and the prices are set in a different way, and so on.
But being stubborn and never give up is the most vital thing.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, being stubborn about the path you're taking and what you want to show.
Being certain that you do the right thing I guess. Also,
Yeah,
because sometimes people are trying and trying, but if they really believe in it, it has to be, you know, sometimes or
yeah. I mean,
somehow succeeded.
you don't believe in yourself, other people won't believe in you. I mean, how would
Yeah,
someone else believe you if you won't?
It all
exactly.
starts within, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I think we can move to the demo part. It was awesome to see your early work. I mean, it's very inspirational that you're sharing your story with us.
Yeah.
It's just awesome.
Well,
So,
I
And
hope.
as the first digitals that were very brilliant, I guess.
yeah.
Well, I mean, you gotta face the reality. I mean, it's a reality check, and right now with people progressing so much, when you start out, maybe it's a lot harder to face it. You know, hey, how's that guy doing it so easy? Well, he didn't do it from the start.
Yeah, he was working his ass off for 3-4 years.
Okay, so the demo
Okay,
is
man,
pretty
so
good, by the way. Yeah.
Okay.
the screen is on yours all the time, and you can start something.
Shit, man, you improved.
Done. I know, I'm proud.
I mean, that's how you get a job done, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, how much time did it take you?
I think I used my best brush on this.
Okay, which is? Can you
Well,
show
I'm
us
not
your
gonna say. It's a secret.
brush?
Well, to be honest, I haven't prepared because I wanted to simulate a real situation where I get asked to do something and I have no idea what it should be.
Okay.
That's no problem, man. Do it on air, like we do always time, all the
I
time.
mean, he already did it.
I mean, for me, it's kind of liberating, but it's also so very stressful to always to start something and do it in a different manner and not procreate, not do whatever you did before.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking right now for some references.
Okay.
Uh,
So I'm just.
you guys have any
I would
thoughts?
like to talk to the people that are in the chat. If you have any question to John, just tag in the question with big letters question and ask if you have any, and we will try to take care of it and ask it to the John. So.
Yeah. And Jonas will be our guy from chat.
Yeah, he's the silent,
yeah.
silent lamb.
Awesome. So yeah, there was some questions. There were some cool questions appearing here and there.
Yeah, I'm just checking them. So.
I'm already trying to kind of think in a way towards architecture and nature, the things that I, kind of do most.
Yeah, yeah.
But
you also made some characters, right, for Applibot, for instance?
yeah, and some freelance work which I can't show, and before that.
So how do you deal with the subjects that are a bit more difficult for yourself?
Right now, sorry, I wanted to say something, but
okay.
Can you repeat that?
How do you deal with the subjects that are a bit more difficult for yourself, like characters than environments, for instance?
I think environments aren't very different from characters. I mean, you need to know anatomy, that's for sure. But besides that, I think it's the same thing. It's about composition, macro composition to
the right shapes,
and taking in shapes, how to define shapes, light, materials. It's for me, it's basically the same thing as environments. It's just that I don't have the best practice in anatomy. I know the proportions and stuff, but I can't say I'm on it. It's good to specialize and then expand, I guess.
So to start with, right now you are searching for references, and you have an idea in your head, or you're trying to put everything in?
Not really. I'm trying to find something that would inspire me. I just had the idea of maybe building a city.
Okay.
From way above, maybe. I don't know. I have no idea. I kind of let my brain take part of the process and not just be, in a way, guided by already made ideas. I mean, I don't want to make the same things.
So you don't want to restrict yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to follow the first idea that comes to my head. Like, oh yeah, just make that and through those shapes and so on. And I always try to, kind of make me think in a different way by starting it differently. I mean, right now, this point and the shift point technique, I can't say I really did it before. I'm trying to find a composition that might work. Some depth in the image. I'm not necessarily trying to relate to it. I just like some lines from this image, and I want to see where I can take it.
What about the photos? That some interesting question is in the chat. That when it comes to photo bashing, what sources other than Google image search do you use?
Google books.
Okay.
I mean, I admit I take a lot of time to reference, and I don't think finding the right picture matters all the time. Sometimes it really does matter. I mean, it saves so much time. It's just something that's perfect to your idea. It's not necessarily, trying to make your idea from the image. It's holding every reference you get to the image you want to achieve.
So I've noticed that on some of your works you use let it be like low resolution photos, and it's just not a it's not a critic or something, because it can looks very charming and painterly if you use some blurry textures and all that stuff. But how do you deal with it? It's like you found something really interesting and you don't want to search it in high resolution or
well, it's just that, because I don't want to depend on photos. If it's a job where I need to make 10K resolution image, like I did a teaser poster for a movie a couple of weeks ago or something like that, and it was a character monster, and it needed a lot of detail. But I started, just like this, trying to build up a thumbnail, trying to build up my idea that would work for the for the gesture, for the ambient, and so on. And after that, I started using a lot of high-res photos. I went to a park and photographed some trees and used basically the same photo all over the place. But just by having that good base of shape before.
So you don't bother about the quality because you still can overpaint it, right?
No, and I don't bother about the quality because I can always paint over it.
Yeah, exactly.
If for movies, people wanted more extra edgy, let's say, and gotta give that to them. But most of the time, I just let photos work for me. I shouldn't work for them,
So
and
nowadays you
also
don't.
For the brush. I mean, I use a round brush right now, and I'm not changing it necessarily. I'm trying to think where to work some things and how to incorporate, and hopefully get some ideas from maybe the photo. Try to keep some elements that inspired me to take this photo, or just go in a totally different direction. I mean, I don't promise this will make sense at the end of the demo, but I will try.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not my focus, and that's what I was telling you guys before. In work, I just don't want to get caught up in doing something fast just for the sake of it. I just want to. I mean, there's a time when you need to work fast, but most of the time I want to make something that surprises me.
There's a question in the chat. What is the best way to build up your visual library?
Well,
what do you think?
Start going out. That's the key, I think. I mean, nothing beats an experience like going to a certain place. I
That's
mean,
true.
doing some mountains over here. Okay, let's put a mountain there. Won't be as impactful to you as a feeling and the character of the place by seeing a photo. I mean, you gotta see real mountains to actually experiment. The weather changes, the wind, the smell, whatever. Everything builds up in your head and sort of makes you go in a certain direction without you wanting, and that's a good thing to me, at least sometimes, because you're in charge of composition, lights, but you can let ideas flow. You don't have to commit to something just because it was, your first idea, your first brain ideas.
So it's again like no restrictions for yourself,
There's
being on the flow.
experimenting. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's like experimenting and letting yourself go from there, not get caught up in doing the same thing.
So you're just trying to challenge yourself over and over again with every piece, and it makes you explore, right?
That's why I don't want to get up right now and do, the same old image with some mountains in the background, and wow, big hills, big fog, volumetric light. I don't know. I'm more interested right now in challenging myself.
So it keeps you moving, right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, either if I don't, come up with something that challenges me as a problem to solve it, I get bored. And if I get bored, I stop working.
Nice.
That's so true. Yeah, so you basically trust your design sense, and you are just, no matter...
I don't necessarily trust it.
Okay.
Trust at the point to make the right decisions. And for that, you need to prepare. But I trust myself to allow mistakes to happen.
That's so important.
And not necessarily mistakes, but to leave some things uncertain and not defined. Because, hey, maybe right now this looks like a military base or whatever, technology kind of thing. But it could become at the next second and could be more entertaining if it had a different base, or this would be snow and so on. It's leaving some options.
Yeah. So even from the mistakes, you can still gain something for your design, and
Exactly.
Yeah, it's nice. Very nice.
And right now, I don't want to give in on the first, idea that comes to my head, just because I'm doing the live demo and everybody's expecting to see something from me in a way already done. And
man, just have your time and don't bother about it. So.
But I don't want to give in to that, because that's not what a client wants to be surprised in the end. In a good way. Don't surprise them by bringing in.
So if you have some prepared, very accurate description for the job, it's also for you like experimenting and sending some experiments to the client, or you just try to be more, it's like you're thinking through it for few hours or days and then starting painting, or you're experimenting from the beginning and then send it to your client?
Yeah, well, sometimes I let that kind of be for the deadline. I let it cook in the thing that I call my head. I try to put some salt. I try to put some things. Maybe work, maybe not.
But do you make some kind of thumbnails or?
Yeah, that's what I was going to.
Okay.
I make thumbnails, and I try, to make a variant that the clients would expect from his brief. But maybe the client didn't think of everything, Maybe he wants to see something he didn't realize he wanted to see, and that's where I try to make the next version, And by putting in the next version, you might pleasantly surprise that person, the client, and not give them something they would expect and would appreciate what you do more.
There is an important question that I think a lot of people think about that when they are using
Could you
photos.
hold the question for a second? I had I'm trying to get that thought in my head for.
Okay, okay. Go ahead.
I finally got it, and I don't want to forget it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It's a funny thing. I was having a job for Sony, and they wanted a lot of characters in the scene. It was an up-close kind of a, how's it called, action scene, but not quite. You know, I can't get into detail, but it was more about the characters than the environment. The environment was supposed to nurture, you know, the action, basically, and it wasn't difficult to come up with how I wanted those characters to interact, you know, whatever they were doing. And I think that was, you know, part of the doing all these environments and thinking about actions that happen inside them, you know. So I think if you can do one well, you will do the other as well, somehow well. I mean,
yeah, it's very cool that saying that you immediately spot something that you can improve on your pictures while doodling around. Sorry for calling it like doodling around, but
yeah, no, it's doodling around. It's like fooling around.
It's very cool that you immediately found that idea and okay, stop. I just have to finish it, and it's great. So it's really shows us how artistically way of thinking you have.
Well, thanks. I'm just trying to, you know, give as much info as possible right now. It might not be good. It might be okay. Some people might enjoy it or not. I hope they will. Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, man, no worries. So I will go back to the question, which is how much % of an original photo you are using to leave unchanged? I mean, do you worry about copyrights when you are picking photos, or it's just...
I don't worry because I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have more than 40% at the end.
Okay, so you basically change it enough not to worry
just
about...
won't recognize what happened to that image. I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. Things will get very modified very fast.
Yeah, because as we see, it's not like using just a one plate and you paste it and then matte paint it or something.
Yeah,
you use some parts of the one photo and another photo, and let's keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get stuck.
Yeah.
If you think about it, I mean, how much time did this take? 10 minutes? And you already have a thumbnail, if you look at it like this. And I can show it to a client. As a you know, if he's more inclined. If he's not, then refrain from showing anything that's sort of not clear.
Yeah.
But if you spend like 6 hours on some thumbnails, I don't think that's a lot. To be honest. I used to have a period when I was doing a lot of you know, speed paints, and they were taking like an hour and a half, and I kind of got over that. It just wasn't bringing the joy and, you know, the progress I wanted somehow. It just wasn't bringing up the challenges I needed. It was cool, it's great, you learn a lot of stuff, but at a point you got to stop doing that, and I think, and focus on solving problems more precisely.
There's some question about being like a speed, you know, like just let me read it. I see speed is being a major factor in concept art. I feel I'm slow in my processes yet. Do you think, guys, think speed is something to be worked on, or is it something that will come naturally? What about you? What is your thoughts about it?
I think it's both. You both work on it, and it comes naturally.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Sid Mead. He used to, you know, do all the designs individually. Then he used to make the composition sketches, decide on the final composition, and from there take it even further and trace it. Then go do a color rough, and so on. I mean, it won't come easily, good images, and that's why a lot of things on games and whatnot taking a lot of time, because good design won't come overnight. Sometimes, you're just inspired and it comes, but most of the times it won't.
Yeah, it's like you said at the beginning that you spend 1 week or more on the one painting at the beginning, and then you are more aware that you can use the photos and textures, and you can speed up your process. So that's the good way, I think, and it's really important to be more speed if you want to get, for instance, more jobs, or even or you want to gain more money from it, earn more money. So
I mean, you can get money just by doing your job right, no matter lower,
Yeah, but the more faster you are, it's more also comfortable for you and for clients. Is so.
Yes, but that's it's good to be fast, I guess, in the beginning and show that you can do a lot of work. But people always will want fast things. But
sometimes it's like unnatural that they ask for something. Do it now, or something like this.
Yeah, everybody wants it now, but they also understand, even though they won't ever tell you this, they understand it takes time. It's better to put pressure on you because hey, there's 5 other people, waiting for this project and so on. Trying to get on the project, and it's stress on you, especially as a freelance. I mean, that's the big thing. Coping up with the stress of things.
So there's some interesting question, maybe more technical, like any advice, tips for adding environmental effects in paintings? What are your thoughts about it, John?
You mean like atmospherics or what?
Yeah, I like atmospherics, like fog and all, because I've seen a lot of people exaggerated it sometimes, but the one who is asking in the chat tell that it's lack of it. So maybe you have some tips for him.
Well, I guess you need to. It goes again to studying things and how environments really work. Seeing a lot of.
It basically comes from the studying. If you will get hang of it, basically, like John said before, he practiced fundamentals enough now to treat it like jazz. Basically, he's just going with the flow, and that's what all these fundamentals are allowing him to do right now, which is basically playing around with the ideas. Like you can see, he basically changed the composition right now.
Yeah.
Completely, and
he is aware of it, so it's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just having fun. I told you, I don't want to get refrained in not having fun.
Yeah. So what you are doing right now, you are basically like judging the shapes. You're thinking what would be cool to see, right? You are basically
functionality right now.
Okay.
I'm thinking what this could be more.
Oh yeah, you just took up very nice subject. Let me ask you a question. What about the functionality of your design? That you are thinking about that your spaceships or vehicles would really work in real world, or do you do it because it looks very cool and you think it's alright about it?
It's a little bit of both, but at the end you got to think more about functionality to start with. And once you have that down, you can, fool around with shapes. I mean, it's definitely you need to find shapes, cool stuff to use in your images. But if they don't make sense, at least hint at a sense.
Yeah.
Then you did it for nothing.
Yeah, I think it's very important because even when I started doing some concept art and studied some planes or something, I was being, more aware that how it's built and why it's working in the nature world. And then if you design something on your own, you are more aware that you can use that, that wing or another cool thing that adds the details to the picture and still is very functional. So.
Right, yeah. I mean, right now I'm really not thinking about constraint. I need to find the best way to follow this idea. And I have like, hey, maybe it's the pillars, these are the base to some sort of structure that keeps everything above the water. Maybe it's a water world and it needs to kept above, a terraforming kind of thing. Trying to think of a structure and composition from it, and I'm thinking maybe going vertical. Haven't gone vertical for a long time. It's harder to show things, but at the same time, it's a funny format to explore, because wide format, okay, you can have whatever in there, you can fit whatnot, but I always found it cool to bring storytelling to vertical. That's why I kind of love doing covers.
So you are changing completely, and it's still keeping going. What's the resolution that you are working on?
I have no idea.
Okay.
That's not important right now, right?
I just think it's like 6,000.
Okay. Yeah, but I was thinking about more like performance in your computer. Sometimes
there's no lag.
Yeah. Okay.
This is still an older kind of computer. See this?
Are you merging your layers
yeah, I do.
while working?
Yeah, I do. This is kind of the mistakes I was telling about. You see this? Really thought it would be cool to have everything. And you see me using the same brush because I don't care.
Yeah.
It's bad, maybe. I have so many brushes here, but I don't think I use 10 out of them. Maybe 10. I have a few of mine, but sometimes it's cool to just. I like to do this. I like to select a random shape which I like from here. Let me see one, which kind of looks good for what I'm doing, you know, in the same manner, and I go with that for a while. See what happens.
So as we can see, you are not using any perspective grid, right?
No perspective. Don't feel the need right now.
You don't feel the need because you did so many of these Feng Shui drawings.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You don't need the feel, and people are thinking, "What the hell is he doing? Why?"
Somehow I've been lucky to feel perspective more.
Yeah. Okay.
It came to me in a more natural way.
So when you're working this way, how much time does it take to actually create a piece that is like enough for your portfolio? I mean, time-wise. Like from that
portfolio, from the 1 hour thing to start.
Yeah, with like photos implemented in the right places and
Yeah, I don't think I have a lot of in the portfolio that take a lot of time. Maybe I do, like 3 days, I think the most, 3-4 days.
So it's like 20 hours maximum, right?
24. Yeah, I mean, I'm doing right now images that take 5 days, but nobody minds because they expect to see something done for 5 days. Not just ask 5 days and then you slack around.
So basically, you have an established composition right now, and
no, I'm still looking for it.
Yeah, you're still looking for it, but when you will find, like, when you will get to the point when you feel like, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
This is the painting I want to finish.
Right.
What happens? Do you like look for photos and replace them with, or you implement them in the same way you are doing right now? How?
I think it goes both ways. I like to define some things and other leave undefined and explore more.
Okay.
So
right still the same process, right?
Yeah, it's still the same process, and it's basically dark against white.
Yeah.
And right now I haven't quite selected anything. I just let the everything that was on the this is shitty on the table that I kind of established.
So
guide me towards things.
You just told that the perspective comes to you naturally. But for the beginners, all the people from the chat are asking, do you have any sources you can recommend for knowing the perspectives apart from the studies?
I really haven't done anything besides those Feng 2 stuff, to be honest. Let me think. Good training for perspective. Do life drawing. Get a chair, a basic this kind of thing chair. You'll find it so hard. Let me check. This. So you have this chair, right?
Okay.
The simplest chair. Put it on a bench or anything in front of you and draw it.
Okay.
And if it looks like the one in front of you, then you don't need perspective. If it doesn't, you need it. And trust me, you will. I mean, if I put myself down right now and draw a chair, I still need it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to use the existing things like the chair or something to build up a mock-up for your painting?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay.
I mean,
so how it looked? Can you tell us a bit more about it?
Yeah, I think I can. I will get to that part for the lower structures, maybe.
Okay.
Okay, awesome.
You know what? If you remember, I said about taking those watch designs. I used to look at people in the class and get their watches, basically, right?
Yeah.
Watches, and that used to help me decide what to do with it. I was trying to make up some subject matters for myself, you know. So this watch maybe has some angular shapes to it. Well, what's opposed to that? Not trying to make a spaceship out of every watch. What can I make and still be from that? You know. And
everything around is just a forms that you can still use as an inspiration for your.
Yeah, and I try to basically reinterpret things, give them a new meaning, shapes, use them in a different context, and not get caught up in you know, the literal things. I mean, if I had a thumbnail in my references, I could see something else and use it.
Okay.
Dark, I just want to do something rude, which is I just want to interrupt for a minute and.
Okay. No.
Ioan, if you can just proceed with your demo. I just want to talk a little bit about Kickstarter for a new.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it, man.
For a new page. So if you can share my screen, if you can switch to my screen, I will just talk tiny bit about that. Sorry,
done.
for interrupting. All right. So basically, we have like people that created CG Hub that worked on that. Awesome page that was home for almost every CG artist for such a long time, and then the founder, which is not the guy from Team Shakura, just decided to put it down. So this is not the fault of the team. This is a personal decision of the guy who founded the site. So we have the
owner actually.
Yeah, the owner. So we, with tons of other artists, came up with an idea of actually founding an independent website that is that looks like CG Hub and feels like CG Hub, and it's even better, and it's from the same developer team right now. So we have created a Kickstarter for that project. And it's currently live, and we are looking for people that are interested in it. So if you loved CG Hub and you want the same vibe back, just please go to this Kickstarter page and pledge. I mean, you can get a premium membership. I mean, even $2 will do. So anything you can do to support this idea of having an independent website for artists and by artists, just please support it and do whatever you feel doing to make it happen. I just wanted to say it's really important for us to have
it's worth it. And as Wojtek said, it's most important is that it's developed by the artist also.
Yeah. So it's not any shady company doing their thing. It's just artist for artists and no shady thing. So
Yeah.
this is what we all
Drug deal?
Yeah, no drug smuggling, no people
Yeah.
traffic. So yeah, I will put the link to the Kickstarter into the event page, and
Okay.
we'll go from there. All right, back to you, Jan. John.
Okay, done.
Just a second, I have.
Second video.
Yeah.
From the past.
Where did it open? Yeah. Closed.
Hey, sorry, John, for interrupting.
No problem, man.
I mean, I'm a fan of CG Hub, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, it was such a surprise when it.
I did my part today.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
1 cent. Nothing.
Yeah.
No more, right?
Yeah.
That's enough. Do whatever
Okay, screen
you
is
want.
already on yours, John.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was messing around. I mean, sorry if it might not come anything out of this, but I'm just having myself explore things, and hopefully people will kind of learn some.
Yeah, man, don't bother, because sometimes it's like experimenting for all the process of work, and then it just bump up as a good work. So
Yeah, I mean, all day I do stuff for other people. I
Yeah.
try to, even though you're making it through your filter, but I just want to feel like I'm having a little bit of fun instead of.
oops, so it seems he was dropped.
Oh, damn it.
Wojtek, maybe you can talk a bit about your overpaint that you did today.
Okay. Can you hit John?
Yeah,
on
I just shared your screen.
Facebook? Okay, awesome. So yeah, let me fire up Photoshop.
I will inform that John was dropped.
Yeah, and I think he will realize that he was dropped in a minute, so maybe we'll just go back to his demo right away. Give us 1 moment. Sorry guys, still Google Hangout thing making us improvise. So Jonas is absent, he had to go.
Okay. It seems that John is back.
Yeah, I was
back. John's back.
Sorry, John, that I will share the screen for a second on Wojtek so he can talk a bit about his.
No, man. Go back to John. I mean, he's.
Yeah, okay. If you want, okay.
Give me 10 minutes to bring some sense to this and not talk, because.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, so Wojtek, the screen is on yours, and go ahead with it.
Thanks.
Okay, let me share it.
It's hard to talk at the same time sometimes.
Yeah, man.
It's very hard.
Give full attention to something, and you gotta switch.
Yeah, don't bother, man.
Alright, so here I have the work of David K. And can you see my screen? Dark?
Yeah, it's your screen, so.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so this is a really cool piece. I like it. It's basically a Batgirl, and I felt there are some issues with it that I could refer to, that I think fix, which is basically you can see that when you will zoom in, there is some weird things happening, which is that thing, which is something white and something dark. I think this is a ZBrush model that was imported into Photoshop, rendered out and imported, and painted over. Which is cool. I like this workflow. It's really effective. I know a lot of industry professionals that work this way. It's all good, but I think it needs just a tiny bit more awareness of what you are really importing into your picture, which is you don't want ugly things that happen in 3D to come through your picture, which is basically that weird fringe. And there's a cool couple of tricks that you can use when you're importing a model. Basically, when you have it on an alpha, you just select it, select the model, and if you will have a weird black border around it, you just go to image, layer mapping, and the fringe and hit OK, and it will get rid of that weird thing because it makes it look comic booky a bit. So yeah, I did an overpainting, and I tried to change it enough to actually get rid of the feel of the 3D model being in there. So I tried to use it actually to my advantage to do something with it, and you can see that David used a lot of rim lights, which are really bright and white, and these are not describing a form. I think it's flattening a thing a bit, and I did this really quick, like 10 minutes overpainting, which is pretty rough, but and I introduced a different color of the light to get a little bit more drama to it, and like you can see that the overall rim light, the shape of it varies in terms of like the form on which it's hitting. So it's really important to know the form that you are painting on, basically, and yeah, I think that's it for this picture. I desaturated it. I introduced some different colors, and basically, you want to treat it. If you are importing a 3D model into your 2D picture, don't feel like you have to stick to it so strictly. I mean, I know you have spent tons of time probably modeling it and like setting up a render, setting up a scene, so you're very careful not to destroy it, and then you are making wrong decision because you're scared. You have to be curious. You have to be the guy that question yourself. Like you have to be the one that know what looks good, right? So I don't know. Maybe just stepping out from the work for some time will make you aware of some issues that are happening. And yeah, I changed the composition as well. I widened it out. Also, I used Liquify to make it just a tiny bit more feminine look to it, because still it's a Catwoman, right? Batgirl, and she is like super sexy and slim, and yeah, I just wanted to pronounce that a little bit more. As you can see, I also got rid of these really bright highlights everywhere that were taking me away from the picture. Yeah, so I think that's it for this one. I mean, I really liked it. I fucked it up a little bit, but if you will look from really far away, you can see that it makes for a little.
Yeah, you changed completely the mood, and oh no, you just added the mood to the picture. So
yeah, because as you can see, this looks a little bit more like just a 3D render with a little bit of a fog.
Yeah.
And I mean, the pictures you are creating are, I think, to tell some kind of a story, to present design, to showcase your idea for a character. I think you can tell a little bit more about the character by actually telling the story what you want to tell, not being overwhelmed by all the technical stuff, and not being scared by ruining what you already did. And we see John doing it right now. He is not. Yeah, he's
watching. Oh shit!
You are not. I mean, I cannot see your screen right now, but you are not. You are not afraid of changing things. You're not afraid to fail, right? I mean, we are in Photoshop. What the hell can you really fuck up? I mean, Control Z, create new layer, whatever, right? Whatever works.
IRS, that kind of stuff.
Exactly. So yeah, that's it. I mean, I really like that piece, but I think you can go further with that. You can just make some. I don't know. Came up with a story with a light scenario. Just push it further, and I think you will get so much out of it. I mean, 3D is just a tool. It's not.
Yeah, it will not solve all the problems. You have to face it.
Yeah, I mean, it's useful to leave out 3D when you need it, but it has to look good, and it has to has to go along your idea, and if you go against it, if it goes against your idea, what you want to achieve, it's not a tool anymore, it's a distraction. So
perfect.
I think about it. Go back.
Thanks, man. Okay, so John, are you ready to share your screen, or?
No, I was, you know, I was joking around at my camera, but more like than my screen. But, you know.
All right. So let me take care of some questions, because I've seen that someone was asking for the contests on Level Up, and yeah, we already checked it, but give us a time to discuss it, because it's much more work that we usually do, and it's still, we do still a lot of work to keep the Level Up going. And yeah, it's very cool idea. We had these ideas before about some contests. Just stay tuned for more information. In more couple of minutes, I will try to select the winners for my print contest, and then another week the Wojtek will do his. So as you see, there are already contests, but maybe not Level Up strictly, but by our members. So give us a time, and we will discuss it in the future for sure. So yeah, thanks for ideas, and keep it going, because if we don't reply, it doesn't, you know, mean that we don't. Yeah, exactly. We can still, you know, have to check it and go with it. So give us a bit of time. So.
Yeah, we are trying to figure out the ways to really make the community be more engaged than only people posting pictures and asking for help. I mean, it's great that the community is actually interacting. It's growing. We have almost 19,000 people in the group, which is just
it's amazing. It's still growing, and we do all our best to keep it going and to diversify it.
But it's really hard to get all these people.
Yeah.
And actually make them do something consistent. You know, we cannot arrange a contest for like the best looking technically picture, because it will be unfair. This group is not about making pretty pictures. This group is about progression, the way you learn, the way you help others to learn, and we are just figuring out ways how to really
it's not really easy choice to start with, because as you said, Wojtek, it's a lot of people, and a lot of people they have different expectations, and we also expect some things to get it done, and there are some specifications has to be done to start something like this. So
yeah, but
stay tuned, we are still thinking.
Yeah, John, what are you up to right now? Still fixing the picture?
Can I switch to the screen on yours?
Fixing. Sure.
Constant fixing.
You know, right now.
So we can see your beautiful face right now.
Right? Oh yeah.
My huge cup.
Huge what? Cock?
Okay.
We can see your beautiful face.
Yeah, man, I just admiring my cock while live. Yeah, that's what I do usually.
Okay.
No, I said cup. My big cup.
Cup. You're safe.
What I drink from.
You drink.
Oh.
Right.
Not the cock that I drink from. Obviously.
Okay, so I think I changed it. You know.
Man, it already looks amazing.
Oh shit! Awesome.
It doesn't, but okay, thanks.
Yeah, it looks. Don't argue with us.
I love that your design decision when you are like introducing this really bold and simple shapes, and then getting into and creating like tiny little compositions somewhere in like the bottom or I don't know. You just have some kind of intuition to it, and it looks you create them so easily, but I don't think it's that easy.
It's a lot of play, you know.
Yeah, but now everything looks very balanced and very subtle with design. It's so cool.
Well, you see it like this. Yeah, it looks but when you zoom in, you know, you see how rough it is. And I'm trying right now to create my own accidents, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I have this idea of a huge refinery at the edge of the, you know, shore water line, let's say. And I'm trying to decide what will be hit by the light and what won't, basically. And unfortunately, I did it that I only have 2 layers. I would have preferred at least 2, 3, you know. But now that I fucked up, I'll have to deal with it.
Okay.
By the way, do you guys want to do that paint over you mentioned also?
Yeah, man.
Like
if you
half
feel
an hour before, because right now I'm still playing around and still trying to figure out.
Okay, so you want to
It's
still
up
to
to you, man.
the painting and.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Darek, do you have an idea for an overpainting? You want John, you want us to do an overpainting while you are working on it?
If you want me to do it.
Okay, okay.
So you wanna pick up any picture from the group, right?
Yeah, if you guys.
Can you hear me?
My screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay. I see level up logo.
Okay, it works fine right now.
Okay. Jonas, what are you doing, man? Dancing?
Are you in a bus or something?
I'm on the bus. Yeah. I'm the
Just,
on the bus.
I think it looks weird that you're actually talking to yourself in a bus, right?
Which country are you on the bus?
This is devotion, guys.
Yeah, you can see right now, guys, how it looks like being on the trip.
Sorry? You want us to which country on the bus? Yep, on my way to London, in Denmark.
Right, cool.
I'm in Denmark. Have to catch the plane. Next week I will lead the session, so no worries.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we'll let you.
Have a safe trip, man.
Right, let's go back to.
Okay, I just back to on screen.
Stop that dance, man. Stop that dance, please.
All right, so.
Muted him. Just muted him. All right.
He's crying. All right, we have 30 minutes left.
Which picture?
What?
Did you guys decide on which picture there's gonna be?
Do you want us to decide what you
Yeah,
okay. Wojtek, do you want to find something for him?
Yeah, I will. Do you
I will
prefer
try to find some interesting questions, yes.
Okay, do you prefer environment piece or a character piece or?
Whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Alright, so I have one. Got it. So I'm sending it over to your Facebook, the link, alright?
Facebook, okay. If you want to, switch to your, you guys do an overpaint in between while I check, would be great. So there's no waiting around for me.
No worries, man. You just can go and check it out and. Alright, let's.
Okay.
Let me have a look at some questions.
The Marcus Brakelman, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let me save. And while you guys answer questions, I'm gonna just give this one.
Okay.
A budge.
Sure. Yeah, still people are still laughing from Jonas.
Yeah, like a superstar, just came in for a second and.
This is the first time when we have actually one of our hosts being in a bus while the session comes. It's so weird, man. That's so weird. Actually, next week it will be an opposite. Me and Darek will be traveling back from Warsaw to our cities when Jonas will be doing
his solo session.
yeah, his whole session. So we'll try to join, and hopefully we will not interrupt him.
Maybe Wojtek, you can talk a bit about that Warsaw for the guys that will be.
Yeah. So just to give you a rough idea, we have been invited by some Polish journalists to exhibit our works on
Artur Paprocki.
Yeah. So basically, what's the deal? We are exhibiting our artworks in Warsaw. It will be next Saturday and Sunday. We will be there doing demos and like painting live and stuff like that. So if you will be there for anything, just please come by and see what we are up to. Yeah, I think it will be quite cool. You will be able to see a lot of work, digital work from Polish digital artists printed out in a really nice size, and then see a lot of Polish artists doing live demos and like speed paintings on demand and stuff like that. I will share the link with you in an events page so you can check it out. If you're in Warsaw, just
it's the worth. Even if it's also worth to mention that it's the first time that kind of activity in Poland ever. So we hope that
nice.
It turned out pretty cool. Yeah, we will be there so we can meet if you will be somewhere close to the Warsaw, just step by and we'll be.
Yeah, exactly. So what I don't think you guys know. John, you are also a founder and an organizer of
yes,
of the workshop called Behind Our Iron Curtain, right?
Yeah. That was another story, fun story. It was the first Eastern European workshop of that size and that importance, with such great artists. It happened in 2010 and 2012.
Yeah.
Damn, time flies.
Yeah.
And it had a lot of artists, instructors that are basically renowned professionals and people that kind of defined the industry that it is today with their work. People like Stefan Martinier, Steamboat Studios with Vile, Joel, Sebastian, Manuel, and Kekai Kotaki. Okay, let me finish this.
Yeah, I saw Nestle Page was joining you as well, and really big names.
Keg, Alessandro Baldasseroni, the crazy modeler. A lot of talented people. Mark Gurner, that kicked ass and kick ass in this industry, and sort of a lot of people follow their work and they're so established. And they came in Europe not knowing what to expect, in Bucharest.
Yeah.
Everything started as a conversation between me and Stefan Martinier. We were working on a project together, and I just asked him at a point if he wants to join for a workshop. It started as a challenge for myself because a lot of people here just didn't believe it was possible, and I approached some Romanian artists. Hey, let's do a smaller workshop, and they were like, "Oh yeah, well, let's not," because nobody's gonna pay a ticket. And I say, "Why do you want, pay a ticket for what? You're not." Yeah.
So everything starts from the normal talking.
Yeah,
like we were talking about level up.
Instead of thinking, hey, well, it's something cool we should do. It's gonna community. Everything. The talk started about money, and I was like, what the fuck? And from that, I kind of tried giving myself a big task of bringing in a lot of artists that kick ass,
Yeah.
and
you
that
did a great job on it.
are super great at what they do, and super teachers, especially, you know, and that can bring real motivation to European artists, and bring it somewhat accessible, you know, and take the costs as low as possible, but keep the quality to it. And it was the first thing. Now, you know, you see a lot of workshops happening in England, in Portugal, you know.
Yeah, it's amazing how the small idea can, you know, turn out to being big and bigger after the years. So.
And I didn't expect, you know, anyone wanting to come to Romania from the United States after a 15-hour flight, bring them down here. But Stefan was like, "Yeah, I trust you. Let's do it." And that's how, you know, things progressed to the guys at Steamboat and Mark Gerner and Kekai, and it was such a great time. And now in 2012 there was, you know, a bigger challenge, and trying to be a little bit more organized and bring subjects that weren't quite discussed back then, as 3D, you know, having Neville Page, having Alessandro Baldasseroni, bringing in Daniel Simon, who I don't know how I forgot about Daniel, which, you know, are great designers and very nice people. Ian McKeag bringing his beautiful 2D side of the industry.
Yeah, I love him.
With Raphael Lacoste, the French guy that's the art director behind every Assassin's Creed game, you know. And we had a, you know, great time, and people were really motivated after all the workshops. I mean, they were not expecting it, that some people that have found a lot of success in their lives would be so down to earth and would be all for sharing and helping other people reach a certain level. You know?
Yeah, that's the exact same idea that we have behind Level Up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
In McDonald's.
Back then, in McDonald's.
Yeah,
we didn't have fries, but we had palinka.
Right. So, can you talk a bit about what you are doing right now? That it's like polishing over thing.
This ain't quite polishing.
Yeah, but from this,
no,
you know, it's like very, very refined.
Trying to, you know, right now, just because I was talking, I kind of went on autopilot, and I'm trying to define a little bit. You know, if you see some things are more hard edge, like these tanks up here, or just coverings of whatever, you know, gas tanks, whatever it is, and trying to lose some detail just because of time constraints, and having those loose lines, you need something to counterbalance it and have spots of tightness, you know. And I'm still not zooming in because I still feel this could be improved as a composition overall. I'm trying right now just to keep that balance between detail and not detailed, and make it somewhat presentable as an idea to either a client or, you know, in the end to myself or to the people that are watching, so at least they get an idea, hey, that's something there. It's not just, you know, some bullshit, some blobs.
Yeah,
so
perfect.
So you need, like, you have this.
This is me looking for a brush, taking 5 minutes. That's why I only use the round brush for a lot of.
It's overwhelming, right?
This might work, right?
So now you have merged overall the piece and you are working on one layer, right?
I didn't want to do that.
Okay.
But it happened.
Okay, and you don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, if the client, let's say, wants to bring this to a polished level, he's gonna say it. And at that point, it's easy for me to cut things. You know. And right now, I'm thinking what could be, you know, big shapes against light shapes and smaller shapes. So just to give that impression of detail and suggestion. And because I took it in this matter of not trying to detail anything, I'm gonna take it till the end. Somehow, when you start, you need to know what kind of an image you want to do, because it helps. If you want to do something that's super tight, it's good to start tight, or at least bring it to a point where it looks tight and you know what's gonna be. I mean, at least I want from a thumbnail to show what's going to be the end to an image.
Yeah.
I mean, if I need to take this element and start detailing it out.
What? Oh God, again.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, let's switch to Jonas for a while. Let's switch to Jonas. Buddy, you there? We have to get John back. Oh God.
He is mute. I cannot unmute him.
Okay, I'm writing to John again. Sorry guys, it looks like when you are using a specific brush or a big brush in
yeah, and the big resolutions also.
Yeah, it somehow fucks up the G-hang and it just kicks the people out.
Yeah.
So that's
so maybe let me just do that contest, because we still have not more than 20 minutes, so I think we can.
Okay, so Darek, if you don't know, had organized the print giveaway, and he will pick a winners right now. So
okay,
go ahead, man. And in the meantime, I will try to get the John back and make him finish his awesome.
I just already wrote him that he's
okay. Awesome.
So let me share my screen.
Okay, you're back.
He's back.
This time out. So.
Okay, so John, John, can you just give me 1 minute, and I will try to lotter the winners for my contest I set a week ago for the prints to win. And
teach them gambling. I love it.
yeah, I got some simple program by Christian Hantulik, and I have the like list, and some of you guys weren't, maybe may have some options of like a public likes and all that stuff. And when I took all the names, it's not that many like the likes on the Facebook, but I hope you understand it. I just didn't have time to write any program for it, so I will try to pick up 2 people from the likes list and the 2 people from the share list, because not all of the people who like the post share the link. So let's start it.
So how many people you will pick?
No, it's just random one. So the first winner of 4 is João Francisco, and let me write it down for a second.
And there's so much tension, like I cannot handle it.
Yeah.
The sound of joy.
The second winner of 4 prints is Serkan Aydin.
Man, you're such a good guy, giving prints away. I mean, that's beautiful.
Yeah, you are doing the same, man.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Right, I'm giving prints away.
So these 2 names, João Francisco and Serkan Aydin, are from the likes list, and you got my prints. So if you see it, please write me message on Facebook, and I will get all the address details so I can ship it to you. And the share list. Maybe let me show you the quality of self-promotion. Let me show you the quality of the prints that we have already printed with Wojtek. It's pretty
Sorry for a
huge.
second. Can I say something? Was
Yeah,
Pablo
sure.
Francisco
Yeah, sure,
the
man.
winner?
Again? Sorry.
Pablo Francisco was the winner, or what? I don't know.
João Francisco.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You know,
Okay.
the Pablo Francisco, the comedian.
So
Like what?
yeah, so the print looks very nice, and we think the quality is great. So we hope that if it hang on your wall or somewhere, it will look very cool. And we have the 2 winners left. So the share list is following, and we choose the next name. This is
This is tension.
Ariana Sia.
Nice, man.
Yeah. And the last 4th name, and who get my 4th print, is Andrzej Gołasz, Polish guy.
That's
Okay,
nice.
guys, sorry for interrupting and going back to level up session. Yeah, going back to your screen, man. And I hope people will like my prints, and we will think about more activities like this in the future. So to name them again: João Francisca, Serkan Aydin, Ariana Sia, Andrzej Gołasz. These 4 people are the winners in my contest print.
Woo!
Contest. So,
Awesome.
Yeah, congrats. Dun, 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 dun.
okay, John, the screen is on yours, and we have 15 minutes to finish it. To
Okay.
finish the session already.
Whoops.
But
Whoops.
but don't need to rush.
You didn't see anything that you shouldn't. Let me put that thing. As you can see, the image, you know, it's starting to take shape, the composition and everything. I'm starting to sort of like it.
We cannot see your screen yet.
You see my screen? Oh,
No,
did I?
no.
Oh, you're
You can see your face.
Hey,
Hello
man.
again.
okay. Is it on now?
Yeah, it's on.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can see already, you know, I'm trying to pick up big shapes, obviously, in architecture and stuff. And I'm trying to indicate, you know, pools of light. And this is like the reflections coming from, you know, water and whatnot. And hitting the glass, depending on what type of glass it is. And trying to indicate that kind of thing. Well, I should switch to a soft brush. And these shadows from the structure above just, you know, follow the whole idea that I want to portray. And maybe give this, let me check if it is gonna work. Give it a hotspot somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Or not. We'll see. Nobody's gonna mind if it doesn't, right? And all the shadows need to, you know, basic atmosphere, like I said. They need to kind of soften up as the further they go from the actual object that's casting it. Maybe we can get some indication of structure around there. You know, just give more depth, even to the image that you don't see, basically.
For the selections, you are using a magic wand tool, or you are selecting a specific channel?
Whatever I feel like it.
Okay, whatever. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I like to switch stuff.
Yeah, yeah. We already know it, man. It's like you're just improvising all the time, but still using all of your skill sets at the same time.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find things. This image might actually go even, you know, more stranger or whatnot.
All right. There's one question that we ask.
From photos or whatever that might come along the way.
Yeah.
But I still want to give a general impression of things. Clean up the edges a little bit, but still keep it soft because it's so far away.
Yeah.
Put some birds. Let's put some birds.
For scale, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or rubbish, some guy throwing himself off the window here. Let me do it.
Or just, yeah, exactly. One question, which we ask every guest.
All right, I know what to do.
Yeah, would you rather be a Godzilla or a millionaire?
A what? A millionaire?
Or a Godzilla?
Why not a billionaire? Why isn't that in question?
Yeah, sorry, Godzilla or a billionaire. Sorry, millionaire is not.
Godzilla would make $1 million damage. I need to know. I can
Good.
repair my house if.
That's
Good
some
reply.
strategic thinking, right?
Right.
So,
I don't know. I think I'd like to be a Loch Ness monster. If it's a monster. I don't know about Godzilla. I like it, but it's fat. You know, I'm more skinny.
Okay, so basically you would be a skinny billionaire, right?
Right. Yeah. No, monster, Loch Ness monster, or you know, stuff like that.
Loch Ness monster. All right. So
Right.
still, you want to smash things around. Just a little bit.
Without any, I want to eat some fish. You know, live the good life.
Live a good life, yeah, in the lake.
Okay, let's switch to this. How much time do you have?
8 minutes.
Okay, man. You can.
8
But
minutes.
you can still have your time, so.
Yeah, we can spend a little bit more. It's no worries. I mean, we are happy you are devoting your free time to the community. So.
Well,
What
this
do
is
you
a
think?
hard one. I mean, you chose
So-
something that's pretty well done.
For your demo file, please save it as PSD, and after the session you can send it us to.
I mean, I don't think there are any layers in there. So.
Yeah.
No, I'm working on
Just-
a
just-
JPEG here, right?
Yeah. Okay. Just you know, the normal resolution, and then we can post it on the Pusroda site.
Yeah. So, what do you think are the main issues with One Piece?
Well, I think, first of all, sorry for jumping right in without saying anything, but, you know,
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good. Go ahead.
maybe I'll be more selective. I kind of don't like this blue. I don't know why, but it's just not feeling right for me.
So you're fixing depth right now. You're adding
Now I'm
more.
fixing the atmosphere and general feel of it. I like this area. This I'm not too sure about. And, you know, I like to use a lot of layers, modes, and stuff. Just bring in more atmosphere. Maybe lose a bit of the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Have it more. Again, trying stuff. I mean, there's nothing that's holding me to a secret formula that's gonna work. It might not work, it might work. Trying to get some contrasts down.
Mhm.
I might even change the perspective a little bit. Let me try this. See if it works. And I'll tell you why in a second.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give a little bit of shadow here for her. So this light will be coming from here, right?
Oh, nice.
And have a little bit of shadow here on the wall. And it'll just give more perspective to the whole thing. Bang.
Nice. So it shows that you, even if you are changing perspective,
Just
you
like
can arrange the lighting and adding some effect from it.
A simple change. You go like this.
Yeah.
To the point. Collapse. Well, fix the face. Well, I kind of like the face right now. It's a guy's face, but you know. Keep it like that. Like the nose. more African kind of thing. I don't think the hair even needs to be here, at least for this image. Maybe some sort of a, you know, from the jacket or whatnot. Some shoelace, some lace, you know, shoelace kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
This needs to be the same. And if, you know, this train is moving, you see he tried to give these particles over here, newspapers, whatever. And this could be, you know, the use of perspective, again, have them receding towards this. And have different colors on it. You know, more kind of reds. This is as powerful as the train. The train needs more punch.
And suddenly, Jonas.
I unmuted you, man.
The guy from the bus. Interrupting.
Just don't be that harmful. He wanted to say hello. Look at his face.
Yeah, man.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
You're such a troll.
You can mute me, it's okay. Just mute me.
Oh, come on. Poor creature, mute him! Mute this poor creature.
Just lower the volume. Okay, so he muted himself.
No, I muted him.
Okay. It's like competition. Who will mute who?
So basically,
You know, this you'll never see like far from the actual, you know, how's it called? The edge, this ledge. You'll always see this marking for, you know, that has some texture on it for blind people and for kids. You'll never see it that far away from it. I mean, this is the safe distance. And you see here inconsistency. It's away from the edge and then it goes right next to the edge. And someone might not actually realize what's wrong with it, but they'll know it's something, you know. They're wrong. And why is it? Why is that? And someone will think, why is it wrong? And it's just, you know, a small detail that's make your work a little bit better in sense of believability. Give that impression of texture.
Yeah.
You know.
This overpainted shows us how much feeling in the perspective you have and how taste in the perspective, getting rid of the perspective.
I mean, this isn't correct because you see here, well, it might be, but I don't know which architect would make this. If this is going round, why wouldn't this go round? Well. Bang, like this.
Nice.
See, and already everything's pointing towards things. Let's fix this a little bit. Okay. Have some light maybe from, you know, the passengers, from the train inside the train. Still on, or did I?
Yeah. There is a quick question to you.
Okay.
Are you going to release any video tutorial in the future? Maybe Gnome video or anything else?
I don't choose that, right? It depends on if there's a. I mean, there's been some talk, but I just didn't feel too inclined towards them.
All right.
Alex Alvarez, the guy that made Gnome.
Yeah.
Well, he came to the workshop, so if he's listening, maybe.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
you know, that kind of stuff. The details of real life.
Yeah.
It's not gonna show like that, but you know, just exaggerating for storytelling
Just a
purpose.
suggestion if something's going on with
And you
life.
could actually have, you know, people standing by because, or you know, walking towards this.
Yeah, and again, you're introducing just another receding shape that you repeat. And
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's more human. You have these guys here, and then you need to think of stuff you're gonna see in such a station. You know, while you wait for the subway, why don't you look around and see what happens?
Yeah, and information tables.
Yeah, exactly.
So it also comes with the observation of the just a normal thing in the
Yeah, exactly.
daily day.
Yeah. Sorry, this had a kind of a Final Fantasy look. That's I don't know why, but it just had for me. And you could just put here some advertising.
Okay.
It doesn't even pop out, but you know.
Yeah, so again, this is like a knowledge that this is like your life experience. You know that these stations have advertising signs like in these places, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, the pension plan and buy a bond, that kind of stuff in here.
Yeah, and this is what makes your art more believable in terms of
Hawaii image here, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why exactly this will work, this kind of stuff, if it has some. Wait, that's gonna be my phone. Yeah. Well, close. Believe it or not, it's a client.
Sunday evening, right?
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, and he's gonna call again because you won't get the idea. Well, you get it.
Deadlines, man, deadlines.
Not really, but I don't know what's the big fuss. Whatever. Yeah, you need to, you know, give a purpose to this kind of thing. This usually would go to exit. I mean, why would this go to green? This is for suicidals. I mean, yeah, it's not cool. I don't want to make fun of the guy that did it, but you know, you gotta
of course.
ask yourself those questions because someone else will, your client will. You'll say, hey, why the fuck did you? And if you want to make like Japanese kind of more stylistic stuff, they have a lot of design in there. I mean, here these vents or whatever they would be, these would be designed. I mean, okay, they're in shadow, but they still need to feel like they have a design of some sort, you know?
Yeah.
So how actually can you
personal touches here, that kind of thing.
How actually can you improve on your design sense? It's not building up your visual library. Is it an understanding of your surroundings and how the things work? What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And let me change this. I mean, you see this? Why is it going to the ground?
Yeah.
If it's like a pattern, then you need to actually show it's a pattern. I don't know. You know, start it here too. My brush. And then consider the lighting and adapt to it so it makes sense. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And this character might, you know, if he's having a backpack, I doubt it's gonna be this flat on his back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe it's gonna slouch, like when it's empty, you know, slouches.
Mhm.
And the light that's going to affect him is going to be, you know, from this source. It's going to be greenish, bluish, whatever. And if his hands are in his pockets, it needs to be in his pockets, you know, so on. Well, it might be exaggerated, but you know what I mean. Simplify.
Guys, if you have any more questions to John, just go ahead and write in something in the chat, because it's a couple of minutes that we will be online yet. So if you are interested in any more info from John, just go ahead.
Oh, nobody?
Just waiting.
Still, there's like
Not a dildo.
Yeah, people are
okay.
talking about the thing that they previously started. So like, where is going Jonas and all this stuff.
Well, filter it out. And usually in subway stations, you know, you're gonna find something like this tunnel leading right in the, you know, right in the, how's it called? You know, where you exactly where you take the train from, because it's dangerous. You know, there's gonna be hundreds of people coming out, maybe people pushing and so on, and you're gonna have someone fall over. And this might be a good idea for, you know, an action scene here, but not with this character just standing here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's not giving me any emotion, at least right now. So at least
Just a standing.
Yeah, I think I would try to change that.
Okay.
I don't know exactly how right now, but I might try something like.
I really like the way you think about storytelling and adding some things, changing it completely. This is the same thing like you are painting and can entirely change everything without any, hesitation. So
Yeah, I might at least have him, her, whatever, talk over the phone, you know.
mhm.
Talk on the phone, have a weird light from the phone, contrast, whatever.
There's a cool question coming. Hey John, do you think it's important to have a balance between everyday life and work? Or do you just find concept art is more of a lifestyle in itself?
Who asked that one?
NTHN Hansen, I don't know.
Well, I thought it was my girlfriend.
Okay, so you're a workaholic, right?
Well, what? Who?
Are you a workaholic?
No.
Yeah?
No.
It looks like you devoted tons of time.
No. You have the wrong idea about me.
Okay, so you are balancing your life and your work.
Well, okay, I'll be honest. Well, it's a hard thing to do. I mean, there's no answer to that. It's a struggle.
Yeah.
You need to make some priorities, that's for sure. But you have to put in the time. It sucks. And putting the time means not going out with friends, you know, getting pissed that you're in-house for the last 5 days and you need to spend even more time and so on, just to finish some piece. You know, girlfriend has free time and you don't. Bummer. Again, it's a hard balance. I mean, it's that's why, especially freelancing. Okay, you're hired at a studio, and people want you there 9 to 5, right? Well,
Mm-hmm.
you're freelance. People want you there 9 to 12 and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to. I mean, sometimes you take too much work on yourself, and it shows. But you need always to take the time to get out. Otherwise, you'll crack.
Mm-hmm.
Because you need to constantly let your brain pause on things. Otherwise, he's not going to come up with cool things for yourself. You need to go out, interact with people, find out new stuff, see plays, see movies, talk to people, whatever. But you need to do that. Otherwise, you will stagnate in
Mm-hmm.
the worst way possible. And you need to take care of your family too. I mean, your girlfriend, your parents, your relatives,
Yeah.
close kin, brother, sister, because you don't know how long they might be there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hard balance. I mean, if anybody finds the solution to it, I'll pay in gold, but nobody will. Everybody
Yeah, that's a hard one.
situation and have to find his own way in the world, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are beautiful words. It's all about the devotion, but you still have to remember that you are only the person, and you have the people around you that sometimes need you more.
Yeah,
And yeah, and even if it's sometimes it's hard because the work needs to be done. But
and
as you said, the balance, everything is very important because you can avoid the situations that you know giving you get hard choices.
you need to put in these hours because you need to develop your skill, and
Yeah,
if you
and I
don't,
think it's more the devotion process, and then if you start working, that it's like doing work, and if you have some more time, you can still work on some personal things.
yeah, I
But
think at least in the beginning you need to put a lot of time. And I've heard
yeah,
people say,
exactly.
"Hey, once you're there, you don't need to." I don't think that's true.
Yeah,
You will need to all the time. There's
yeah.
no.
At the beginnings, it's just
At the beginning, you need to put even more.
yeah, exactly. More time is needed then.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard job. You need to have a lot of availability, emotional availability, because
Yeah.
you're always have to change, dealing with clients, the way you
Mhm.
deal with them and what they ask from you,
Mhm.
and that always changes. And you need to get in some states in order to find the best design. I mean,
Mhm. Yeah. Sometimes people around it think it's very easy to make that kind of job, but
yeah, it's
your
not.
head and your mind is like 100% just all the time. You have to think. You have to design. You have to get rid of the paperwork and all that stuff.
Yeah,
So
you have paperwork, invoicing.
yeah,
It's not quite easy.
yeah. And you're also taking care of your health because the
Yeah,
sitting all the day destroy you. So
I haven't had a vacation with my girlfriend, and she hasn't either for a
hmm
long time because we're
yeah.
working, even if in different domains, somewhat. She
Yeah,
needs
that's the
to
devotion
keep the
also for
time.
the people around you.
Yeah,
So,
and sport is a big thing. I used to play a lot of tennis and basketball,
hmm
and I feel old sometimes. 2 years, 3 years ago, I used to stay all night and not feel a thing, and now it's like after an all-nighter, oh shit,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, because there's a lot of pressure on that you exert it on yourself. You're
Yeah.
trying to come up with something good. You might
Yeah,
be the type that doesn't give a fuck.
yeah,
Good for you, even better.
yeah. The tension just grows in you and
Yeah, and
interacts
it's
on
not
your
good.
body.
You need
So
to, you need to lose that tension, that's for sure.
yeah, exactly. That's cool. Very nice tips.
Yeah, I think we have to wrap up.
Yeah.
I just love the piece you did. I didn't expect you to be that fast. I mean, looks really good, even if yours and then and I know I love that the bold composition you came up
It
with.
wasn't that fast. It was pretty slow. But I suggest
And just
everybody
2 hours, and it looks very, very, very,
should take
very
their time. Well, thank you. Everybody should take their time. I mean, if you see someone doing something fast, think
Yeah.
twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I love the way you think about a thing. Don't hesitate to change everything completely. It's very unique, I guess, because sometimes people are afraid of something and they don't push farther. So
Yeah, but sometimes you need to commit. At
yeah,
some
exactly.
point, you need to commit. And right now, at least, I'm trying to commit to this. And
Yeah.
what it
So thank you very much, John, for being with us on board.
Well, thank you for having me. Let me show you my face again.
Yeah, it was beautiful session. We just I learned a lot. Just hearing yourself only, it's amazing. So
I hope.
so keep it going, and yeah. So
I hope.
nice to have you on board.
First, thanks for having me, and I hope people at least walked out of this session with some little learnings through their filters. I mean, they don't need to follow mine, what I say as a rule. They need to make up their own rules. And
Yeah, but it shows that you just can be very chill out and still doing some stuff even if you make a mistake, and you can use this mistake as something perfect. So just
yeah,
a beautiful thing.
stress is gonna be there. You just need to find a way not to put any, more stress than you need.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
create extra stress for yourself. There's gonna be enough from clients, from a piece not working.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuel that stress. Try to find some solutions. I mean, do something easier than get back to work. Whatever, jog, take a dog, pat him on the ass, whatever.
Okay, so
Yeah.
thanks again for joining us.
Thank you for having me. That's fine.
Yeah, we will post. John will post his piece in a group, and you will be able to
Yeah,
see it in a better resolution. And
Save up.
yeah, the best if you also put the picture into the event page, so people will.
yeah, we can discuss it after the
Yeah.
session. So thanks, guys, again. Please subscribe to our channel if you're enjoying these. We are up for the next one next week. Jonas will start with another great guest we are honored to have, and we will announce that in a few hours from now. So stay tuned, and yeah, thanks again.
And for everyone who can be in Warsaw next week, just see you there.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, thanks guys, thanks Wojtek for Overpaint, and thank you very much, John, again for your amazing.
Thank you guys.
And your thoughts, because I think the thoughts were very, very cool. So, bye guys.
Bye. See you.
See you guys.